Kev, I watched Raw. There was a lot going on this week in the
I hope that you didn't notice while Bron Bronson Breakker grabbed the microphone that Paul Lee and Rollins were rolling their eyes behind his back.
I hope he
Because,
has a cell phone and saw
well,
YouTube, and they'll write in there that he
maybe,
noticed too, because that would be a big gap in the storyline if that shit
yeah. I
happened.
mean, it's like one of those things. Like if he doesn't, then you made him look like a dumbass.
Right.
If he does, then it's like okay. But what did we say for how many weeks? I didn't know they were going to bring him on and make him a job guy.
Well, I was really happy when he and Bronson Reed got the mic. I thought that was a cool thing that they did. Well, it was leading into that night's main event matches, so it made sense. But I was glad that they did that, and they used Seth's time because Heyman talked, and then they talked. The
Well, how
guys
many
talked.
times can we hear that he's the innovator, the ding, like we already have to hear, ha. It's like, Uncle, that's part of your time, you know.
Yeah, it is. But so now, how did they do with their mic time? Paulie's face is behind them aside.
I I thought Bronson did great.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Rick Steiner, the young Rick Steiner boy, I thought he was.
You
Uh,
hate calling him Bron Breakker. You've known him since he was a little kid. You hate calling him by the
he's
work name, right?
Bronson Rick Steiner. It's like one of my. It's like my nephew.
A little seasoning, and he's going to be good because he comes across natural.
And it just the fact that he said that Paul said that I'm going to be basically the star of the show for the next 10 years, going completely against what Rollins has been saying.
Right.
I mean, it was great.
Having said that, my next question: what are we building to here? Is he going to break from them?
I think that he's so easy to turn babyface. He, he he's the best athlete in the building from just from strength and speed. If it was a shoot, I doubt too many people would be able to pin that motherfucker.
Because they're running between Zayn and Uso being laid out, and then over the last few weeks, they're making them seem expendable. Are they doing this because someone else is going to swoop in to be the star of this feud? Are we really expecting this
If
just to be building up a
you can't put this much time in these guys and build these storylines and then bring in a Brock or a Roman to push them. You can't do that, man.
okay?
You just can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that and keep any kind of synchronicity in that locker room.
So then, is it that Bron Breakker shows up beside Sammy and Jay and says, "Well, now you
I just
have
have to say this. I don't know how many people out there have ever had their ribs broken, but the one thing that you don't do when you have a rib injury is compress them. And I don't know how many times I see people come to the ring
and
with this white tape
right
around,
tight around yeah."
Jesus, man. Like, I remember I got in a fight one night at the Cheetah, and it was a bachelor party. There must have been 14 guys and three of us working. And even though we were dropping them, man, they were still getting shots in. And somebody cracked, I never got x-rays or anything, but I think somebody cracked or tore the cartilage. It was like my floating rib. Like right down at the bottom of my rib cage. And I came home and one eye was pretty swollen and I had like a cut in my lip and my lip was swollen. Hands were all beat up, and I remember like getting home and then like laying on the couch because I didn't want to lay in bed because I didn't want Tamara to bump into me. And then she got up and she woke up, and I woke up and I went in there and she was making some coffee. And I was standing over the top of the grill, the stove. And because always in our house, it's like everything that I use, like you have your kitchen cabinets,
Hmm.
and then you have that top piece of molding on top of your cabinets.
Like a soffit.
And it's just like, it's just like it finishes the cabinet.
Hmm.
But
Oh, mine attaches to a soffit. You're saying you can reach
I can
onto the
I
top.
can
Okay.
put, yeah, I can put shit on top of my, but I'm the only one that can reach that. But
Right.
that's where I put my protein and shit like that. So I was reaching up like that, and she smacked me with her hand, like, move out of the way. And she barely touched me, and it doubled me over. And I went to the gym that day, and I had to do back, and I went to do a pull down. I went, oh. So I mean, it was one of those things like, yeah, let me.
What'd you expect to happen going to the gym and stretching your arms to do a pull down with a broken rib?
It's like when I tore my. Remember the first time I tore my tricep? It bled out all the way from my little finger to my armpit, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I tore something, but let me see if I can. Like, I went on the Smith
If I
machine.
can curl.
No, I went on the Smith machine and pushed 2 1/4, and after like the third rep, I'm like, yeah, there's something definitely wrong in that elbow region over there.
Good Lord. So to get to Bron, so you're all right. So what you're saying is you're talking about the realism of the Sammy ribs. So to what end do you think this is headed? So
No, Jay had the ribs, didn't he?
you did well. Sammy was taped, right? Oh wait, oh was it Jay?
I don't know.
Sammy wasn't taped.
Who was taped, guys?
Sending it here. Because the splash is Wesley didn't watch. He was busy watching Sinners for the 600th time.
No, I was watching AEW. It's our Wes is our AEW correspondent. Guess
Anyway, either way,
guess everybody else is jerking off on our
um,
crew.
Pornhub. Glad we're financing that. But irrespective of that, point taken. Do you know what I noticed as I'm watching this? This faction, like this main event faction, they don't have a name, right?
No,
Heyman doesn't like refer to them as anything. What should they get a name? Are they too cool for a name? Is it like when you don't need a title? Maybe this faction is so cool they don't need to be called anything. Wouldn't you want to start marketing some shit here? Make some T-shirts and
Wesley said Sammy was taped up.
yeah, that's what I thought. But so like, I don't know. I think we should come
No,
up with a
you
name
don't. You
for
don't
them.
come up with a name for somebody that if they're not going to be a faction very long.
I mean, they're very effective and they're selling it hard. You think this will be short lived because of the predicted Bron Breakker breaking away?
I I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm clairvoyant, but being jobbed out for a couple of weeks and just being fodder for Seth to come down and curb stomp people and make the save. Then all of a sudden you pick up the microphone and say you're going to be the face of this company for 10 years. And those two are behind you saying, what the f you talking about? Doesn't seem to me like they're on the same page. And in real life, if you would you pull him aside and tell him, listen, don't do that again out there. Rollins' character isn't strong enough. That's his heat.
Mm.
His heat's those two guys.
So if next week, in keeping with your theory that we opened the segment with, Braun should say, I, I saw the video last week. Why were you so surprised when I came out, when I took the mic and I said, like, to kind of confront Heyman, then have Heyman babyface it and go, "Oh no, that you're absolutely incorrect about your interpretation of my face. I had bad
No, you
Indian
can't.
food."
You can't
What?
do that.
You can't have him confront or call out Heyman or Seth.
No, all you do is when Seth is on the microphone, have Steiner not paying
Making
attention.
the faces behind or
No,
Turnbull
just
kind of
not
like,
pay attention.
yeah.
Like he's put his hand. He hasn't put his hands in his pockets yet. Let him put his hands in his pockets.
All right,
Yeah.
works for me. Put him in.
Slow burn, man. You don't want to, because if you confront Paul, whether he's telling the truth or not, he's so over the top, you're going to punch him in the face anyway.
Right.